Assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa alihi ashabi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Rabbil Alameen, man. I never complain.
Never complain.
I've been blessed by Allah.
So talk about your Iman.
So yeah, like this episode, I mean, a lot of people ask us about knowledge, about the Iman, getting better on your deen, or like ways to increase your Iman and like how you know you're increasing your Iman, right? So this is it's not as complex as a lot of people think. It's more of like drive, like determination to want to better your Iman. Like that in itself, that's bettering your Iman. Like if you want to, what was that?
Dude.
Okay. But yeah, that in itself is like a way of you bettering your Iman, because that's like you instilling in yourself that you want to be better, you want to do better, and that you seek Allah's help to do better. But you can only look to Allah to help you better your Iman.
Like the first step is the initiation.
Like it's just like the 5 pillars of Islam. Like the first step of you becoming a Muslim is you making the declaration of faith, saying that like you believe that there is no one worthy of worship but Allah. The same thing is like if you're already Muslim and you feel like your Iman is weak, you have to make a declaration saying like, oh, I'm gonna better myself. Like I'm gonna get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because with that drive, it's gonna like it'll ignite something in you. But it can't be one of those like, late night thoughts talking about, oh yeah, no, I need to get better. And then the next morning you forget it. Like you don't do anything about it. Like,
yeah, for real, dude. People be sitting here late night, they be getting motivated. They be like, yeah, I'm gonna set 10 alarms for Fajr. They wake up for Fajr. Hold on, bro.
5 more minutes, like even me, I'm guilty of doing that in the past, where like I'd be thinking late at night, because late at night is like where I guess sometimes where I get like my best thoughts or something like that, or the deepest thoughts. And you'll think about something like, oh, I need to do such and such. And you'll be like, all right, bet. I'm starting this tomorrow. But see, a real person, like someone who's truly dedicated, they get up right there and do it.
It's really that internal dialogue that you have with yourself when you're truly understanding who you are as a person. Those late night, like you said, those late night thoughts where you truly you're having the internal dialogue with yourself, questioning your life's choices. And it's the initiation. Like you have to do something. You are what you do, not what you say you do.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's your action. Like your action will speak louder than anything that you could say. And like for myself, like let's say not for myself. Like let me give you an example. If someone says, oh, they need to start praying more, like they're lacking on the prayers, they don't pray 5 times a day, they pray like maybe 2, 3. Sometimes they don't pray, right? And they have that late night thought talking about, I need to start praying, so I'm going to start praying tomorrow. If you really want to like test yourself on the fact that if you're going to dedicate yourself to this, you're going to truly like get through with it, with this motivation, this newly found inspiration, then you get up right there and pray 2 rak'ah, do something like, because the Prophet ﷺ said that whenever a hardship befell him, he'd pray 2 rak'ah. And that's for anything. That 2 rak'ah that you pray, if a hardship befalls you, you could even pray that after asr. Like that's how like important something like that is. Like you could, even though you're not supposed to pray sunnah after asr, right? But he said you could do it even then. Like even for myself, if a hardship befalls me now, I didn't know that for a while. I didn't know that you could just pray 2 rak'ah, but trust me, it works. It's like people think like virtues of these certain types of Nafl prayers or these Sunnah prayers, they don't like, you don't see the virtues as much, but trust me, you see the virtues way more than you think.
Bro, that's important. Seeing the virtues, like people neglect the Sunnah or like the Nafl or the Wajib, like they neglect it, but it's still virtues. It's still good for you in some sort of way. Like the way I like to think of it, humans were physical, we're mental, and we're spiritual beings.
Yeah.
Do not neglect your spirituality. Like just like how you can do extra for your physicality and your mental, you can do extra for your spiritual. That's your sunnah, your wajib, your nafil. Like don't neglect it. And that direct correlation between your spirituality is your iman. It's direct correlation with each other.
Okay. So let's talk about things that makes our iman weak. So you have people who, for instance, one of the first things, you're not praying your 5 daily prayers.
Neglecting spirituality.
Okay, so we're going to go on list some ways on like what you're doing. So not praying your 5 daily prayers. You're not reading the Quran, and not just reading the Quran, pondering over the Quran, because you can't just read the Quran. You have to ponder over the Quran. You have to question the Quran. You have to really try to connect yourself to it. Another thing, not neglecting seeking knowledge. Not watching enough lectures, not going to enough khutbahs, not not going to the Friday prayer, not going to the masjid, you know, these types of things, surrounding yourselves around the wrong types of people. These things, they all lower your iman. Like, look, imagine you're in a circle of 10 people and 10 people are not praying and you're the only one who wants to pray. You're going to feel like you're doing something wrong because that's all you see around you. You know, the people around you aren't praying. And then when you start praying, it's something strange, you know, like it looks like something you don't have to do. But in reality, it hurts you.
Another thing that kills your iman is like, look what you're feeding your 5 senses. The things you listen to are filth. You're listening to music. The things you see is filth. You look at bad stuff. The things you eat, the things you taste is filth. You're eating haram foods, pork. What else? The things you touch is filth. You're touching a haram woman for you. Like, think about what you're feeding yourself.
Exactly.
Are all these good for your heart? They're not good for your heart.
It's like a true battle with the nafs. Like you said, like we're spiritual beings, we're mental and we're physical. But the thing is, with spirituality will connect to all aspects. Like, you could be physical without being spiritual. You could be mental without being spiritual or physical, right? But you can't be, like, you can be, if you don't have your spiritual, then you likely won't have the other two.
What good does your mentality and your physicality do you?
Spiritually, then you could have a good mental, and with the result, you'll have a good physical. Or at least you'll be happy with, like, how you look physically, right? If you're good spiritually. Like, if you're good inside your heart, like, basically think of your spiritual as your heart. Imagine your heart connects to everything. Your heart, you need your heart to survive. You need your spiritual to survive. Exactly. You need that iman for you to ultimately survive. Like, you could be breathing, you could be living, but you could still be suffocating spiritually because you don't have that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Like, the way I like to think about, for me personally, my spirituality, like, and my iman is purpose. Like, what am I here for? Like, are we all just matter? No, like, this isn't just the case. We have purpose. So, like, that always goes back to my spirituality. Like, I'm doing this for a reason. God's watching. Always. No, if I want to get a good grade on a test, God's watching. Did I study for that test? Why would he give me the good grade if I didn't study? When I'm in competition, did I work hard enough? Did I train hard enough? Why would he let me win first if I didn't train hard enough? God's watching. Like, this is the spirituality. I have a basis. I have something that I build upon my dedication and my hard work.
It's even if, like, let's say you worked hard or you studied hard, but you didn't do well. Maybe it's a lesson for you.
Yeah. Maybe you will be repaid for your good works. If you truly worked hard, though.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm saying if you work hard, but you probably didn't succeed there might be a different success awaiting you somewhere else. Or a different thing that maybe you got good deeds for what you did, even though that you didn't get success right then and there. Because success doesn't always come right like this. You will see results over time as well. Like, practice eventually makes perfect, but at the same time, you have to keep, like, progressing forward and forward and forward. Like, not everything has to be good for you. Like, if everything is good for you, then you're not living life right.
It takes the value out of good.
What are you gonna learn?
If everything was good, it takes the value out of, then good isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, good is supposed to be Jannah. Jannah, everything is good in Jannah. Yeah. Like, there's no bad in Jannah. But here, you're supposed to, like, the test here is for you to also see that when you get to Jannah, look at the value that Jannah holds. Like, I worked so hard in this life for this. Even
in this life, striving to do better, like striving to make your iman better. Like, do you think it would be fulfilling if it was easy? It's only fulfilling because it was hard and you got yourself there. Like, even, like, think about, like maybe say you want to, like, for the gym, for example, say you want to bench 315 pounds, three wheels. If it was easy, would it be fulfilling? Would it fulfill you, like, your spiritual? Like, dude, this was easy. Like, you're going to try and go harder because that was too easy.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes it fulfilling and the only thing that makes it worthwhile and worth pursuing is the fact that it's hard and the fact that it challenges you spiritually.
The fact that you got to work for it.
Yeah, you got to work for it. It's the same thing with the iman. You think you're gonna increase your iman, you're gonna have this amazing taqwa, and Allah's gonna give you everything. Like, dude, you don't even read Quran.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Like, you don't even read his book. Like, think of, like, what were we saying in the Quran? Like, every time Allah says, "Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu," He's talking to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, ayyuhan nasu. Like, anytime he's talking to mankind, he's talking to the believers. He's talking to mankind. Like, he's challenging you. He's telling you something. He's giving you a command.
Like, imagine the people out there that don't read the Quran. Like, dude, Allah, God sent down a book, and, like, he's gonna address you directly, and you're not gonna listen. You're not gonna hear what your Creator had to say for you.
Yeah, I don't think.
But that's just the way it works with anything. Like, imagine, like, let's say I have a light bulb, and I just leave the light bulb on the side and I don't turn it on. Like, you know, and I'm wondering why is there no light? Like, use your common sense here. And the other thing is, right, when it comes to our iman, right, the more bad deeds, the more sins that we indulge in, the weaker our iman gets, and vice versa. The more good deeds that we do, the better our iman gets, and the more light that shines through. Because what did the Prophet ﷺ say? He said, every time you do a bad deed, there's a black dot on your heart. And when people do so many bad deeds, their whole heart becomes black. Then it becomes dead. Then what? Where's your iman going to come from? Your iman comes from the heart. If your heart is not pure, where's your iman then? It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Do people not think that the word of Allah, like the Quran, that's a literal word of
God?
Like no, imagine like someone like Elon Musk or someone very famous, very like renowned or whatever, very respected in our society. What if they wrote a book, a step-by-step on how to do whatever it is they do?
Like how to acquire wealth. Yeah, this is something people desire nowadays.
Step-by-step, like every single thing you need to do to acquire the type of wealth Elon Musk has.
Like would you not read that book?
How many people would possibly buy it or read it? Now, this is the word of God, came down to you free of charge, as a mercy to you.
Mm-hmm.
And people want to put it off like it's any other book. Like, this is the literal word of Allah.
God. This is like the literal, think about like where you came from. Like, think about before you were born. Did you exist here? No, you didn't. You came from somewhere. Think about, this is your maker sending you, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Oh, you who believe. He's telling you something.
Ya ayyuhannas.
Ya ayyuhannas. Oh, you people.
It comes from Allah al-Mahfuz that was written thousands of years before the earth was even formed. Like this is the same word that Allah wrote from way before mankind was even created.
And you bring up an interesting point, right? You know, like, imagine Allah Azza wa Jal, he tells us something in the Quran, and there's fulan out there, there's a rajal out there. He begins to question him, dude, why is this haram? Like, what? Like, it doesn't affect me. Like eating pork, like, dude, why is this haram? Like, they might ask this, even though there's scientific reasoning, there's proof for why it is haram. Think about if a doctor were to tell you not to eat pork, you would trust it no matter. You would trust him. You would trust his word.
Yeah, that's a really good point. When it comes to the doctor, you go to the doctor, they prescribe you a medicine, a drug.
Yeah,
you putting that into your body.
They prescribe you perks.
You don't even know what it is. You just take it, and with full yaqeen, full trust that what I'm gonna take this. Oh, take it after this meal, 3 times a day, after this and that, and you try your best to follow that schedule. But Allah gives you guidance spiritually, mentally, and physically, and you want to sit here and deny. You want to sit here and question Allah. You want to sit here and question your maker. Like, you want to sit here and deny that there's going to be an afterlife. Like, look, imagine, what was our life before here? We're in the womb of our mother, right? Imagine me telling a kid in the womb of their mother, you're going to be in a life, you're going to be wearing clothes, you're going to be going to school, you're going to be doing these types of things. Like, it's not going to know anything what I'm talking about here. Like, nothing's going to make sense. But when it comes to this world, I'm telling you, oh, there's a life after death. Increase your iman. Read the book of Allah. Read the book of God. And you're going to sit here and you're going to deny. You're going to say, I can put it off till tomorrow. Who said you're going to be here tomorrow? Who said you're going to be here within the next 10 minutes? You can die right now. And then what? Can you return your soul back to your body? No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Like, yeah, no, what you're saying that's complete haqq. Like, even nowadays, like the fitna that we've seen, yeah, like people are like, they're comfortable with their iman a lot of the times. Like, even me, people like, they like to look at us like, oh yeah, we have a podcast, we talk about Islam. They think we're comfortable with our iman. Like, no, the thing is to never get comfortable. There's no comfort here because I don't want to stay here. You know,
no one came here to be comfortable.
I want to meet Allah.
Yeah.
I want to meet my Creator. I want to meet my Creator at a time that He's satisfied with me. Like, the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be the most angry He's ever been. He's gonna be angry. He's gonna be throwing people in the hellfire. Something that, like, it doesn't avail Him at all. Throwing people in the hellfire it doesn't help Him. It doesn't help us.
It doesn't make Him happy.
Exactly. It doesn't make Him happy. So I want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment at a time where He's like, enter Jannah through my rahmah. Like, everybody should be thinking about that. Everybody should be wanting that. But a lot of people, they're a lot more comfortable in the sense that, like, oh, if they do enough good deeds, even though they sin, they still think they can make it to Jannah. Like, that's weak iman, whether you like it or not. There's iman in everybody because everybody's born on the fitrah. Like, if you're a Muslim right now, there's going to be iman in you, especially if you believe in la ilaha illallah. But la ilaha illallah is not enough. That's why there's other pillars. There's pillars of faith and there's pillars of Islam. Like, these things are not just here just for you to look at, just for you to read about. They're here for you to believe, for you to have faith in. Like, you can't just look at them. You can't just read these things and think like that you have it. Like, you don't have it. You never will have it probably, because we all have to strive for that.
That's a good point, because if we get to the point of talking about people being comfortable with their iman, if any human being was to say that or to be comfortable with their iman, it'd have to be the Prophet ﷺ. But yet he was the one who asked for forgiveness the most, and he's the one who prayed the most. But yet who are we? Who are we nowadays to sit here and we indulge in sin and do all sorts of bad deeds, and we do the minimum of good deeds, and we think that we're just gonna enter Jannah through the rahmat of Allah. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying, like, you should be out here wanting to do more. Like, you can never do good enough. Even the Prophet ﷺ, he could never do enough, and he was the best of creation.
That
of Allah.
mindset will only benefit you. It's not gonna hurt you. But the mindset that, oh, I think I've done enough, Dude, like that,
Dude,
that could
even
hurt
the people,
you.
even the people that have great wealth in this world, they still chase the money.
Yeah, they still
go out and figure out ways on how to make more money. Like it can never be enough for them. So why, when it comes to our spirituality, we want to neglect it? We just want things that are physical, and that's one of the things that ruins your iman in this world. When you chase the dunya so much, everything is dunya. Like you have no sense of the akhirah, you have no sense of connecting with Allah, and then you wonder why. Then you wonder why you're depressed, because Allah says in the Quran, "Verily, with the remembrance of Allah, hearts find ease." But when you're not remembering Allah, when your iman is weak, of course you're gonna feel lost, you're gonna feel depressed. And I'm not saying that as in like, because we as Muslims, right, we believe our iman is gonna go up and down at times. Like it's never gonna be at an all-time high, it's never gonna be at an all-time low. Like it's always gonna fluctuate, but we should always be trying our best to do more. Allah doesn't sit here and say do X amount of good deeds. Allah says do your best.
And don't base your iman off of dunya. Don't measure your life on wins and losses. Like, oh, I prayed all my 5 prayers today, but I still suffered a casualty. Like, dude, don't measure your life off wins and losses. Because if you measure your life on wins and losses, that means cheaters are winners and the rest are losers. Like that, I hate that philosophy.
How about this though? Like we as Muslims, we don't think like that. Like we think, oh, I might have got injured in this world, I might have lost something, but that might have been
my sins
Allah,
yeah,
some of my sins.
Allah has bestowed me with rahmah.
What if me, instead of, let's say, me getting hurt, what if I was in the hellfire for X amount of days? I would rather be hurt here in the dunya. Who wants to be in the hellfire? We as Muslims, we don't even want to see the hellfire. We don't want to hear about the hellfire. On that day when Allah will bring down the hellfire, and that hellfire is going to be grabbing the disbelievers, it's going to be tearing the disbelievers' hearts, tearing the disbelievers apart. You know, because the hellfire has ghira. The hellfire wants to destroy the people who disobey Allah, who go against Allah, the people who don't want to listen to Allah. What about these people? You don't want to be amongst those people. You as a Muslim, you want to try your best to stay away from these types of things, and you want to increase your ranks in Jannah. Imagine you're in Jannah. You're looking at Allah. You see Allah's face. You see all the other believers. They're there with you. You're gonna have purified companions. You're gonna abide there forever. Is this not enough for you to sit up, to get up and go do something?
And imagine when you sin, you do one sin. Imagine the angels looking down at you like, how dare this person disobey Allah?
Exactly.
How dare you? Like you got some nerve. You got some nerve.
Allah SWT said in the Quran, the people of hellfire are the firewood.
Yeah.
Think about that. They're firewood. Like they're disposable.
They're gonna be for your acts that you did in this world.
Thrown in there. You're fueling the fire.
Exactly. That's what he said. Allah says they're gonna be fuel of the fire.
Like the fire just gets stronger with the more inhabitants that it takes. Like that is crazy. You think about that? Like that's what the nah, there's no way I would want to be in that.
Dude, the hellfire is not.
I'm laughing out of fear, man. Like I'm not laughing like that. I'm laughing out of fear because like there's no way I could even possibly like fathom being in that position.
Like I brought up the point in last week's episode of the fact that just imagine someone, let's say your close family member of yours or one of your friends being burnt alive right in front of you. What are you going to feel then? What are you going to say then? Now imagine the hellfire, which is 70 times more hotter than that, way worse than that. Going to be complete darkness. It's going to have people screaming. They're going to be eating pus, eating flesh, eating, and their stomachs are going to rot. They're going to be on fire. Like imagine this. You can't even imagine that. It's going to be a lot worse than what I'm explaining right now. Like this is just scratching the tip of the iceberg.
They're not dead. They're not even living.
And the worst part about it is the torment gets worse. Allah will always increase their torment in the hellfire, especially the ones who are going to abide there forever.
No, you know what's crazy? Like, people don't take it with honor that we're part of the Prophet ﷺ's ummah. Like, Allah SWT honored us with the Quran, a preserved criterion for all of mankind, not just for a nation, not just for a town of people, all of mankind that came from the time of the Prophet ﷺ and after, until the day of judgment. People don't think how honored we are to be a part of this ummah. Not only that, but how the Prophet ﷺ, like, he praised us. He praised the people who would come after him, who have not seen him, who will believe in him, who will believe in Allah in the last day. That's us. Those are us. This is us today. He called us his brothers. He said, those are my brothers. Because the companions, they asked, like, what, are we not your brothers? They're like, no. My brothers are the ones who will come after me, who have not seen me, but who will believe in me and my message. That's us. He honored us. He praised us. And yet we're out here sitting, going against his commandments, going against the commandments of Allah.
Trying to argue with it.
Trying to argue. That's the point.
Trying to argue with it, trying to say this and that, trying to give our own interpretation of the interpretation he already gave for us. The most perfect of interpretation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, obey Allah and his messenger. He also said that those who like do not follow the decisions made by the messenger, they've disbelieved in Allah as well. Like obeying the messenger is also a form of worship. That's why they say sending salawat on the Prophet is like is a form of worship. Because
Allah commanded us to do it.
Yeah, exactly. He commanded us to do it. You think he did that for nothing? Like,
Indeed, Allah and His angels send peace and blessings upon the Prophet. Oh, you who believe, send peace and blessings upon the Prophet.
There goes that. Yeah, he's talking directly to us.
Yes. He's talking directly to you.
And the Prophet ﷺ, about that verse, he said, the more salawat you send upon me, the better it is for you.
Here's the other thing, though. You talking about this, like the Prophet ﷺ, he praised us. Allah praised us. Imagine your favorite YouTuber, Twitch streamer. He reads out your name in his comment section. You're going to go crazy. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, they mentioned me in this and that. What about Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything that's on between them? He praised you. He talks to you directly in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ, the last prophet, the best creation of Allah, he praises you. And you're going to sit here and just sit there and be like, oh, it's not a big deal.
Wish for peace and blessings for him?
Like we are the Muslims. We need to be out here doing something. We need to be out here providing.
A man who saved his one dua, the one dua that he could ask for anything he wanted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah would grant it for him. Any single dua, no matter what he wanted. And he saved it for the hereafter for his ummah. The only prophet to do that. And you think like you don't take that with honor, you don't take that with humility, that he's doing his best to help his entire ummah.
Imagine,
reach
like,
Jannah.
no, I'll put it in perspective for you. Imagine a man so remarkable. Think about like the best people you know that are renowned. Everybody knows him. Everybody, like Khabib, for example. He's a very humble guy. Everyone loves him. He was an excellent fighter, mashallah. Think about the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Think about 1400 years ago in 7th century Arabia. His name today, his name is, the people name their children after him, so his name is the most common today.
Most common name, yeah.
He is the most influential man to ever walk the planet.
Yep.
He is still remembered today by every Muslim around the world. Beloved, no one would dare disrespect him.
Every mosque mentions his name 5 times a day.
Every mosque, like, imagine how remarkable this person, imagine how much of a remarkable man he was. He was an orphan. He watched every single one of his children die, with the exception for one. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
he fought in battles.
He fought in battles. Had 9 wives. He was a husband. He was a father.
Leader.
He was a leader. He was a general. Think about how remarkable. And he was an orphan.
He was a family man.
And he still no hatred in his heart. Every time you saw him, he was smiling.
Through his sunnah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave you the ways to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fact is that whether you like it or not, the ones that have been classed as sahih, you have to believe also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve those too. Because he said, follow the messenger. Why would he give us fabricated hadiths that people call sahih and say, no, this is not real? And like people want to reject these types of things. Like, no, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you're talking about. This is his book. This is his religion. This is the way of life he chose for mankind. This is the prophet that he held in the highest status of any man, above any creation. And you don't think that he would preserve his teachings as well alongside his book that he revealed to us? Huh?
What about,
like, come on.
These people that sit here and they say they only follow the Quran. How do you pray? Just pray any way you want? Like, look, just imagine, right? Like, no, like, seriously. Just imagine you go to a masjid. You have people praying in all sorts of directions. Like, imagine we didn't have to face the Qibla. Imagine you have someone praying straight. You have one person praying right, one person praying to the left. You have one person praying backwards. Like, where's the control here? Like, where's the organization?
It's dysfunctional, yeah.
Everything's just dysfunctional. And you're going to sit here and just deny all hadiths?
Yeah, it's also like, bro, speaking of hadith, like, how would you know certain prayers, like the night prayer? How would you know how to recite from Surah Al-Fatiha to another surah after that in the first 2 rak'ah?
Like, how would you know how to do isti'adah? How do you know how to do
like,
all this?
And it's these types of things that like will raise your iman. Like, you see the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like, how it, like the hadith, they especially for the ones that affect the way you live, they're all good for you. Every single one, especially all the ones I've read personally. They're all good. Like they've all taught me how to elevate my character, how to elevate my morals and my ethical values, and how I treat people, how I treat my neighbors, how I treat my friends, how I treat strangers, like how I go about my day, how I pray, how I thank Allah in any situation that befalls me, whether I fail, whether I'm successful, how I remember Allah, how I remember Allah whenever I'm doing something that I probably wouldn't have been remembering Allah if it was a couple years ago. Like, now I find myself making dhikr upon Allah in any situation that I'm in. If I'm just sitting there doing nothing for like 5 minutes, I'm gonna start making dhikr. Maybe not for the whole time, but even one dhikr, that's 10 times the reward. So like I'm out here chasing as many rewards as I can because I'm like, shoot, man. I mean, I'm here. Like if I'm here on this earth right now, I might as well be getting rewarded for it. Like I'm not gonna just sit here and do nothing.
Like this is such a strong point. I'll always continue to repeat it. You being a Muslim, you being a good person, like you lose nothing. You only have things to gain for yourself and only things to gain for the people around you. Like you lose nothing. Imagine I'm sitting here telling you to be a good person, do good deeds, worship one God, provide for the orphans, give to the poor, feed your family, these types of things, right? And you're just gonna sit here and outright reject these things and say this is a religion of the devil.
Like, bro, you want to know? Like, here's proof, historical proof that Islam, it really is the true religion, and there is undoubted proof. It only gives you addition. It doesn't decrease you in anything. The richest man to ever walk the earth, he was a Muslim. There are many wealthy people today who are Muslims. So it doesn't decrease you in your wealth. Just because we tell you to give to charity and zakah, it doesn't decrease you. Like Mansa Musa, he was the richest person. He was a Muslim.
They want to say it's Mansa Musa. I personally think it's Prophet Sulaiman.
it was Mansa. Look, Mansa Musa, he would like, just to put it in perspective, he was so rich that him just going with his caravan, with his people through Egypt changed their economy. It changed it.
He made gold worthless. Like
that's how rich he was. He was still a Muslim. The poorest person, the poor people of today, the poor Muslims of today, they're Muslim. They're happy. Well, I won't speak for their condition, but I would assume they're happy.
You want to know real strength in Iman? This is what we're talking about, strengthening your Iman, like forms of worship that you can think about the life that you live, no matter, regardless of what it is. If you are thankful to Allah and if you have good character, you're set for life. That's rich. That's wealth. Wealth is it within your character. Wealth is not in what you have, but it's with contentment. It's with you being okay with what Allah has given you.
Have you ever met like a wealthy, like a rich, not good person? Like it's like even if you're rich, like I don't want to be around you. Like you understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, I mean,
like a rich person, like I don't want to use foul language, but like a stupid person,
but also think about it like this. Like let's say if you make a dua and you get it answered right away, don't start taking advantage of dua to get stuff that you want.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say,
I don't understand.
No, let's say you make a dua, you make dua for something and you get that thing like almost instantly or the same day or whatever.
Say alhamdulillah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like don't take advantage of it. Don't think, okay, I got this thing and I'm chilling. So next time I make dua, like I don't make dua after that until I want something again. Don't take advantage of like the blessings of Allah, you know, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like don't pray tahajjud.
Like be thankful.
Yeah, don't pray tahajjud thinking, oh, I'm gonna get something every single time I pray tahajjud. Pray tahajjud because you want to worship Allah in the night, in the last third of the night, because it is when you are closest to Allah. It is when Allah has said that He descends to the lowest heaven and He asks who's looking for my mercy.
The way I like to think of dua. Sorry to interrupt, but I remember one time I was talking to a brother. And he was like, yeah, bro, the least you can do is make dua for me. I was like, what? The least I can do? I was like, dude, that's the most I can do for you. Who else is going to help you besides Allah? So that's the way I like
besides Allah.
It's even the thing. It's even the thing. Like I don't mind making dua for people. I make dua for people all the time, especially because like people DM us now, and I'll make dua for them. But for me, I don't ask people to make dua for me.
Yeah,
because I personally for myself, whatever I want is between me and Allah. Whatever I desire is between me and Allah. Whether it's something that like can benefit me here, but also like benefit me with Islam and all that, because that's what I want. Anything I want it to benefit me, my religion, and me being able to reach Jannah every single time. And I don't need other people asking for that for me, because I value that conversation so much with Allah. I don't want nobody doing it for me. I don't want nobody doing it on my behalf. I don't want none of that. Except if it was the Prophet ﷺ. That'd be different. That'd be different. But for currently today, whenever I make dua, I make it on my own. Because I love doing it by myself.
Not even like Ramadan, like you won't do the dua with the Shaykh? Like when they finish the Quran?
Are you talking about after Tarawih? Man, no, that's different. No, be trying to give me that.
Or like even during Jum'ah, you like,
no, obviously I'm
that's different.
That's all of us making collective dua.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But like you wouldn't ask another person to make dua.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask someone to make dua for me, because like let's say,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
If I'm gonna pray, no, definitely not. Like, bro, people making dua for each other, that's awesome, bro, because that like good will befall you from people making dua for you.
Mm-hmm.
But for myself, I love that conversation between me and Allah. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's the level I'm at right now. Like between me and Allah, that conversation, that's only for me and Him. Like even when I'm praying I'm like, it's only me and Allah. Even if I'm in the mosque surrounded by like 1,000 people, I'm sitting there like, me and Allah are the only, like, it's only me and Allah right now. Like the connection is just that. It's just my head with the ground. That's it. Like I don't see anybody else. I don't hear nobody else. Like that's the type of mindset I'm in. That's the type of strength you have to have, because you know Shaytan's strong. He will let you pray. If you're someone who prays, he'll let you pray, but then he'll try to whisper to you so you get distracted, so that you decrease your reward. Because the best reward for the prayer is when you're fully focused upon the conversation you're having with Allah.
And when you say that, I don't want them to like take your words like go through one ear and out the other. Like Allah declared in the Quran, Satan is Satan is a clear enemy to mankind. There's an enemy there. Like imagine you never sought refuge in Allah from the Shaytan. Like imagine like you have an enemy. Imagine I'm just punching Usman in the face. Like I'm just punching him in the face. He's not fighting back, or he's not asking you to protect him. Like, dude, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean,
dude, Shaytan is a bad enemy, the worst enemy to us. Because like, look, just imagine. Shaytan is not going to stop trying to attack you, attack society, attack human beings, and trying to make them fall into their worst state. Like, look, even on your deathbed, the Shaytan will still try to come to you and try to get you to fall upon disbelief, even in those last moments, so that you could be in the hellfire forever. Like, this is exactly what the Shaytan wants. This same Iblis, the same Shaytan is the same one who got our father kicked out of Jannah. And his wife kicked out of Jannah. This is the same Shaytan even today, still trying to influence you, still trying to ruin you. And you want to say it's not a big deal. You don't want to take him as a clear enemy. But yet the person who took $5 from you is an op all of a sudden. You want to kill this person. But the Shaytan, you work with this person. Not person, but like you see what I'm trying to say. Like,
no, but what you're saying is right. Like Shaytan, he will stop you from doing anything. Like for me, I plan to. There was a time where I planned to pray tahajjud. Like I said it on a day, and I said the next day the next morning I'm gonna pray tahajjud. I went to sleep. I set my alarm, and I didn't end up waking for it. I woke up for Fajr, but then when I saw that it was Fajr time, it wasn't like, and I missed tahajjud, I was so upset. I was like, man, this like Shaytan, he got the better of me this time. So then I said the next night I'm gonna do it again. Then I missed it. I missed tahajjud again. So then the third night, I finally got it. I finally got tahajjud because I told myself, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like I read Tasbih before I went to sleep. I read Ayatul Kursi before I went to sleep, and I was like, no, I'm doing this. I'm waking up for tahajjud. I need tahajjud more than tahajjud needs me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to pray tahajjud so bad. I wanted to make dua. I wanted to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then I finally did it. And then I did it the next night, and the next night, and I was like, see, look, he got the better of me a couple times. But see, when you realize like he can get the better of you. You can't just think like he won't ever get you, because he can get you even when you don't think he's like getting you.
Yeah, see, this is a very good point right here. And I want you guys to listen carefully to this. Like you said, this cannot go through 1 year and out the other. This is very important. The Shaytan, he will get you to try and indulge in a sin. If he can't get you to indulge into a sin, whatever good deed you plan on doing, he's going to try to stop you from that. Just like how you said you want to pray tahajjud, he's going to try to stop you from that. And even if he can't stop you from that, he's going to decrease you in that good deed. For instance, if you're going to pray, he's going to try to decrease your concentration. If you want to read the Quran, he's going to try to get you to listen to it instead, so that you get less reward for doing, the thing that you intended to do. He's always going to try his best, even if it's in the slightest way, right? Because he knows eventually over time, the Shaytan is very patient. He's gonna go in, and over time he'll try to get you if he can't get you in that one day.
One thing he can't stop though is sujood, because he weeps whenever someone goes in sujood. So go in sujood, go in sujood a lot.
So, and when it comes to increasing your iman, right? So these are obviously some tips, right? Reading the Quran and pondering upon it. This is one of my biggest things that brought me closer to Islam, and also prayer. These two things go hand in hand. Especially trying to pray your prayer on time. That's what it's one thing to not pray, then it's one thing to pray but not pray on time, and then it's another thing to pray on time. Like praying on time is just one of the best feelings ever. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
it's so fulfilling. Like praying at the prescribed time is so fulfilling. Even when you're outside of the house, and like let's say you're in the middle of the street and the time for prayer has come, and you're like, nah, I got my prayer mat in the car, and I'm gonna put it out and I'm gonna pray in public. Everybody can see me. I don't care what happens. I don't care what nobody says. That is one of the most fulfilling things in my life. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I even love praying outside. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to pray outside today. Like, so if I'm out of the house and I know like, like I might not get home until like an hour after Asr has azan. I'm gonna pray right then. I'm gonna pray there right when it azans because I'm like, you know, I want to pray. I want to pray outside. The world is my masjid. I'm gonna take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of the most fulfilling things. That's some strength in your iman. You're like, bro, I don't care who sees me. I don't care what nobody says. I'm gonna pray because this is just between me and Allah. Like, nobody's here right now except for me, and I'm praying to Allah. That's it. That's all that's going on right now. Like everything else is like it's null and void. Like I don't see it. I don't hear it.
So with that being said, reading the Quran and pondering upon it.
Yeah.
Praying your prayers and praying them on time. Another thing, doing more good deeds and lessening your sins. Because this is one thing, you know, we're all going to sin. So lessening your sins and doing more good deeds. Imagine going from...
for the sake of Allah.
For the sake of Allah. Imagine going from one good deed to another. And, you know, it just never stops. That's another good thing that increases. Seeking knowledge. So going to more khutbahs, listening to more lectures, listening, you know, taking a Deentour, you know, these types of things,
books.
right? Yeah.
Look,
tawakkul.
Yeah, one thing. Like,
trust in Allah.
Doing everything for the sake of Allah. Knowing that every single thing you do is for the sake of Allah.
Have purpose.
Like all greetings of humility are for Allah and prayer and goodness. Everything you do that is good is for the sake of Allah. All of it. Tawakkul in Allah. Trusting the process of Allah, the plan of Allah. Allah is the best of planners. And also praying, do night prayers, man. Pray tahajjud, trust me. When I pray tahajjud, the du'as I make are answered in a way that I cannot describe. They're answered for me in a way that I cannot describe. And like the best thing I could tell you is that I come out feeling way more fulfilled than I did before. Like I come out feeling like a brand new man. I've just completed a new spiritual awakening, getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's how it feels when I pray tahajjud. Like that's one of the things you should at least try to do like once a week or something. Like praying tahajjud it's awesome. Like wallahi, man, you should do it during Ramadan. I'm not gonna lie, because if you wake up for suhoor, you might as well pray tahajjud. But yeah. With that being said, you know, that's gonna conclude this episode speaking about strengthening your iman, like the forms of worship, getting better on our deen as a whole. And with that being said, you know, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
All right, guys. With that being said, if you guys like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, reach out to us, share this with your friends and family. You don't know whose life you can impact by sharing this video. And, you know, just to remind you guys, we're not scholars. We're always students of knowledge. We're still learning. And we're just here providing our information. So with that being said, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.